My name is Kenneth Uhas. I'm the consulting winemaker for Pali Wines, and I am here with Tim Purr.
And I'm the majority shareholder of Pali Wine Company and CEO.
And Tim and I are going to talk about and taste the Momtazi Vineyard 2008 Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley.
Momtazi Vineyard is located in McMinnville, Oregon, which is to the north side of the Willamette Valley.
It's very close to the Van Duzer corridor, which is basically just a gap in the coastal range where the cool winds from the Pacific Ocean seep in. The Momtazi Vineyard is actually in this pocket that protects it from the Van Duzer corridor, and it's actually probably the warmest sites that we work with in Willamette Valley. And as a result, it has the ability in warmer years to definitely become some of the ripest of our fruit from Oregon.
And it generally produces a wine that's a cross between what you would typically think of as an Oregon wine, like a Shea Vineyard, and California. Momtazi Vineyard always tends to be one of my favorite wines because it's got the fruitiness to make it a nice, easy drinking wine, but also the structure to get more sophisticated. So it tends to be something, a wine that can be drank early on, but also could be cellared, and it changes over time as the fruit subsides in the aging process and the tannins soften.
So in 2008, at Momtazi Vineyard, we thinned quite a bit and put quite a bit of green fruit or unripe fruit on the vine, so that we could intensify the flavors of the Momtazi fruit. When you make the decision to thin, there's always a risk involved. And the reason that there's a risk is because you're making that decision before the cluster has reached its full potential as far as weight. So you know about the time. You actually weigh the clusters when they're green, and you can make an estimate as far as what percentage more weight there will be. But Mother Nature always plays her hand, and so it's difficult to say. So you do take that risk in saying, okay, well, we think that the weight will increase by 50%. Let's trim it down so that there are this many clusters per plant. In 2008, with some of our blocks, we did that, or I did that, and the clusters didn't size up as much as we thought they would, so the yields are even lower. But the wine's even better.
And I did say I want the best wines, no matter what the cost.
Fruit's destemmed. We didn't do any crushing, so just destemmed. It's removed from the stem, put into a tank, and instead of punch downs, we did mostly pump overs. In addition, we also decided to age this wine for 15 months, just to give it more time to slowly oxidize in barrel and mature the tannins.
We started out with some great grapes, but these individual decisions are what really produce the uniqueness and really push the wines over the top.
So on the nose, to me, there's a very ripe cranberry character that's nuanced with a character that I find often in Burgundian wines, and it's this iron character. Not quite rust, but definitely sort of an iron character.
My first impression is a little bit of smokiness from the oak, but yet, it's been a while since I've tasted these wines, and I tasted them when they were first bottled, and the oak has really subsided to the benefit of the wine, in my opinion.
There's definitely dark fruit, but I guess it's the dark fruit is, to me, it's blackberries, but it's not extremely ripe blackberries. It's like just ripe, freshly picked blackberries like you would pick in the forest. I mean, they're just on the edge. And with that, there's a bit of a briar character as well, almost a character like a rhubarb. What I like about the palate and the palate weight is that the wine is seemingly like it's going to be really big, and it does have structure, but then there's such a plushness about the wine and sophisticated weight. I mean, it's not beguiling in any way. The acidity again shines through, and it has this nice character of just sort of, streaming across the palate and having this nice fanning finish that seems to linger for a long time.
Yeah.
With wines like this, I like meats that have just a little bit of a fruity character. Actually, venison would
That's
be
what I was
awesome
thinking
with
as
this
well.
as well. Venison would probably nail it. And I think the reason is because we keep talking about this intense fruit, and venison to me is probably one of the sweetest meats that you can find.
I agree. I think there's enough fruit here to cut through the gaminess of venison, or lamb if you want to go a little bit tamer. The 2008 Vineyard Designates, with input from Kenneth and from Aaron, we decided to hold them back and to release them in the fall of this year, 2010. Our mailing list customers will be notified and be able to buy the wines in August, and they'll be shipped as soon as the weather permits, starting in probably October. But if they want to come down to the tasting room, starting in September, we'll be pouring them out of our tasting room here in Lompoc.
Here's to a classic vintage of Momtazi Vineyard.
Nice job, Kenneth.
Nice job, Tim.